What's going on YouTube? Keith Moore Jr. here, and today I'm going to be talking about how I plan on switching up my training just a little bit to incorporate more functional type movements into my workouts, and also some recent sources of motivation that I have been using. So I want to start off by saying that I will be starting my cut in the next week or two. I have not selected an exact date yet, but it's time to get lean again. I have been on a bulk since my wedding in October of 2018, and I'm ready to see my abs again. So my recent sources of motivation have actually been anime shows on Netflix. So there are two series that I finished recently. One being Baki the Grappler, and also Kengan Ashura. Two great series on Netflix that I highly recommend. But I used to watch anime on and off, never really consistently. But now I am like extremely addicted to anime. So I'm actually, I went back and I'm watching Dragon Ball, like the original Dragon Ball, and I'm going to try to watch all of the Dragon Balls in order. Now, please do not get mad at me. I'm a rookie when it comes to the whole Dragon Ball series, but I'm going to look up other like YouTube videos to see the proper order that I should be watching Dragon Ball in. But anyway, back to Baki the Grappler and Kengan Ashura. So those two series really got me in the mindset of wanting to get back into boxing. So I do plan on, for my cardio during this cut, I'm going to be doing things like running outside, jumping rope, and hitting the heavy bag. Because at the gym that I go to, there are a couple of heavy bags there. But later on down the road, I do want to start going to a boxing gym. And for those of you all who may not know, I don't think I ever shared this on my channel before, but I did box from 2011 to 2013. And although I didn't have any matches or anything, I did take it very serious. And I will say I was in the best shape of my life back then. I may have a couple of pictures, but I would have to really dig them up, maybe going through my email or something like that, because I wasn't really big on social media back then, especially stuff like Instagram. I think on my Instagram I have one picture of me from, when I was boxing and I'm like jumping rope, and then the rest of my pictures from back then would just be like a picture of my boxing gloves and the music I would listen to. I actually think I think I took those pictures down from my Instagram or archived them or whatever. But yeah, so I do want to get back into boxing, and then depending on how my Achilles feels, because for those of you who may not know, I ruptured my Achilles. I have an entire series on that. You can check that playlist out. But if my Achilles holds up, then I do want to possibly do an amateur match. That's just something that I've always wanted to do, kind of like a bucket list item for me. But that, like I said, that's a very early thought right now. We will see how things pan out. But that has been like extreme motivation for me watching these anime series, because seeing the physiques of the characters and being able to judge, okay, is this a realistic physique, and then comparing it to like boxers or UFC or MMA fighters. Like, some of the physiques in these shows are actually realistic, believe it or not. Now, not all of them. There are some people who are like 7 feet tall, 400 pounds and shredded. I may be exaggerating with the measurements there, but you all get the picture hopefully. But for Kengan and Ashura, like before the matches, they will tell the height and also the weight of the competitors before they got ready to go into battle. And I'm like, wait, that's pretty realistic to look like that at that weight and at that height. So I'm really going to try to push myself to get into the best physical shape of my life. And yes, I will see how much muscle I built up when I cut down, but I think this will probably be my last dirty bulk, which I mentioned in a previous video, and I'll link that to this one, just because I think I want to just stay lean, forever. Like, I miss seeing my abs, especially living in Florida now. Whenever somebody comes to town to visit us, we're going to go to the beach. And I do not want to be that person on the beach that has to have my shirt on, because I am not ready for the beach. I am done with that life. And I'm sure I'll do a lean bulk in the future, because I have to do that if I want to, build up muscle. I'm going to have to, do a lean bulk eventually. I can't just stay super lean, super shredded, walking around at 155, 160 pounds. I can't do that if I want to continue to build muscle and ultimately get back on the stage to compete again. But once I start this cut, which will be very soon, I am going to get in tip-top shape, and hopefully no injuries occur or anything, because I am really going to be pushing myself. So when I say that I'm going to incorporate more functional type training in my workouts, what I mean by that is, well, first thing, I'm going to change my training split, because I am tired of just doing the push-pull leg split, because I've kind of gotten used to it and I haven't been tracking my workouts or anything. So first things first, I'm going to change my workout split. But also with the functional movements, I'm going to do a lot of movements that simulate everyday activity. So like, when you have to bend down and pick things up. So as you all know or may not know, I don't do deadlifts. Now, I try to get in the habit of doing deadlifts on and off, but I never stay consistent with them. Now, I'm not going to try to go heavy or anything like that. I'm going to get some high reps in, good quality, more so for endurance. But I'm going to be doing things like deadlifts. I'll obviously continue to do pull-ups. I've always, well, not always, but as of recently, I incorporate pull-ups into my routine all the time. But I want to really focus on building up the amount of weight, I can do around my waist with the pull-ups, and going to start incorporating dips back into my routine, and really focusing on making sure my form is perfect so I do not mess up my shoulders, because that is why I stopped doing dips in the past, because I would do them weighted, and then at some point my shoulders would start hurting very bad. So I would say, okay, I'm going to, stop doing dips. But I want to continue to do those body weight type movements, and also you can add, weight to them in order to progress. And then I'm also going to do a lot of core work, because the core is very important for you to have a strong core, because your core plays a role in so many other movements. So that's what I mean when I say I'm going to incorporate more functional type training in my routine. So I did want to do a series where it was strictly dedicated to just anime workouts and looking like, you know, how to look like this character in anime. So I'm still going to do some anime workouts for like my favorite characters, but I won't have an entire series dedicated to that. One, because I feel like that is such a very like it's a niche market. And when I did a search on YouTube, like anime workouts, and I see a very popular YouTuber on there is Jax Blade, and he pretty much has the workouts for the anime characters on lock. So I don't want to, you know, step in anyone else's space. I want to be original with the content that I produce. So I'm glad that I did that search, so I didn't just start coming out with a bunch of anime workouts and then it's like, okay, Jax Blade already did this. So I didn't want that to happen. So like I said, I will still be doing some workouts and then, you know, saying how to look like this particular anime character, but I'm going to have like my own spin on it and make sure it's original and make sure it's like my favorite characters, because I'm pretty much new to a lot of these anime series, and because I'm just now catching a lot of them on like Netflix. I'm watching Dragon Ball on Hulu, so I am not an anime OG by any means, but as long as I continue to watch them and use them for motivation, I will be talking more about, you know, anime series in my videos, but it will still be related to fitness and working out, and then ultimately probably looking at some of my favorite characters where I break down where I break down their physique. So, you know, I'll have videos where I do the workouts as I mentioned before, but also where I break down their physiques as well. So stay tuned for that. I'm excited about this next cut. I cannot wait. I've been waiting for this. I'm getting tired of looking in the mirror and not seeing any abs. So also stay tuned for a physique update. It will be my final bulking physique update that will be coming out this week. So I can't wait. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and catch you on the next video. Peace.